You know, every day we're all faced with the same exact choice. One fundamental decision. From the second that we open our eyes, will we or will we not get 4 Biggie bags from Wendy's? Some days you partake in the sweet red-headed pigtailed demon that haunts you on your neon driveway. Some days you don't. Some days you think, I'm going to make a change. I want to be better. I want to be better than the days prior. I'm going to be somebody who doesn't consume a gluttonous amount of calories. I'm going to turn my back on not only the notoriety, but the reputation, the standard, and the persona that I've created for myself. I'm going to be better. I'm not going to have 4 Biggie bags. Today's not one of those days. In fact, the past 45 minutes hasn't been one of those 45 minutes. I just had 4 Biggie bags from Wendy's, and I gotta tell you, it is running through my system. Guys, I gotta freaking use the restroom real quick. Enjoy the intro. I'm crumbling, man. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Full Circus. My name is Tristan and I'm happy to be here with you guys again today. If you are looking to get into the stock market, buy into Charmin Ultra Soft, because let me tell you, I'm clearing the shelves out. Woo! Rock and roll! Man, I don't know why I do the things that I do. I wasn't even really that hungry to begin with. But sometimes, you know what, you're having a good night. You're having a nice, peaceful, chill sort of time, and you're just happy to be alive. And you think, you know what would be even better? What could bring this from a freaking 10 out of 10 night to a million out of one? A 1 in a million day. 4 Biggie bags. And you talk yourself into it, and for a brief second, part of your consciousness and your freaking, don't do it. I know what lies ahead. I know where this path goes. And you're like, freaking get out of here. And then I found myself in the drive-thru.
Anything else for you?
Yeah, that's going to be it.
You can go ahead and pull around second window, please.
All right, see you there. The case is really getting its work in. Haters will say 40 Biggie bags, 4 Biggie bags isn't necessary. Haters will say you shouldn't. They're right, but isn't it more fun to do what's wrong? Yeah! So good, because I wasn't able to DoorDash, right? Because I swore it off for a freaking Cleveland win. What a waste of time that was. Man, they are not doing good at all. It's going to be sad to see, but you know what? When you don't got the team, you don't got the team. And it sucks. One day I would like to have the team. One day I would like to just root for the team. But I'm loyal to the bone. Not only to my team, but also my stupid decisions, thinking that I can somehow manipulate faith and that the Lord would be like, you know what's more important than the Cavs losing? Tristan giving up his freaking DoorDashing experience. We're going to get him away from his mass consumption. You forgot I got wheels, Lord, and I'll go get myself a few Biggie bags. And it's a problem, so I didn't really cure anything or any wounds, but I don't know why, man. And I'm through it, and I'm pushing myself through this pain. You're full through one Biggie bag is plenty. Okay, 2, you're like, I have a sickness. 3, you realize you really do have a problem, and I'm not only is it a problem, but you're embarrassed. There's shame, and the 4th one is just pain. You reach a deeper level bit of psychology in your brain where you go, I'm going to push myself. This is probably what Marines, this is what people who bring themselves to the brink of failure, push beyond their human body's capabilities just to see what you can do in this life. And then you go from shame to a bit of pride, but still pain, because surely with pain there must come some sort of success, right? Why am I pushing myself through that just for the sake of feeling like I won? I didn't win. I won nothing. Nothing but diarrhea, man, left and right. It sucks. Gringing my pants, dude. Freaking stunk. And now I can't risk a single fart, man. Every single time you feel a little grumble in the stomach, it's a gamble, for sure, dude. I'm going to the casino, bet on red, bet on black, and it lands on brown every time. Can't even... I got to fart in the shower now. Call it shower crowd. I can't do it, man. And I don't know why. It's that part of your brain that just wants to suffer and thinks that you're winning in the most unproductive way possible. Isn't that crazy? I don't know if anyone else does that, but sometimes where you're just pushing yourself through the dumbest thing, thinking that this is like a set of curls, like I'm yielding some sort of benefit or reward from doing this, it can make no sense. Have zero benefit whatsoever. And there's no carryover into the rest of my life. I did it just a couple weeks ago. I was playing board games in someone's basement, and it was freezing, 3 a.m., and I was so cold, and everyone had blankets, and there were extra blankets, and I was shivering. And they said, Tristan, do you want a blanket? I said, no, I'm okay. A couple minutes later, they say, are you sure? Because, they're cold even with the blankets. Do you want a blanket? I said, no, I'm all right. And a few more times they keep asking me, because surely what psycho wouldn't be cold? It's free. It's so like to the bone. And I kept saying no. And every time I heard myself say no, I was like, what are you doing? But that was my fourth Biggie bag moment. That was the moment where I'm like, why am I pushing myself? Well, I'm so cold. I have no reason to be cold. Why am I so afraid to not be cold? What am I supposed to win from this? There's no attaboys. There's nobody who looks at you and is like, oh my gosh, did you say Tristan? He's like, do you want a blanket? He's like, no. Whoa, what a guy, right? No one sees me eat that fourth day after day after day after day. He's got a problem. But how? How does he do it? At no point is anybody looking up to me in awe and wonder. I did it just a couple nights ago. I was trying to fall asleep and I left the lights on. And I was like, just get up and turn the lights off. And my brain again went, but what if you didn't? What if you fell asleep with the lights on? What if you powered through? What if you stared up into the bright lights and you said, I don't need perfect conditions. I don't need what is right. I don't need this and that. I'm going to tell myself what it can and cannot do. My body thinks it can't have 4 Biggie bags. I'll prove it day in and day out. My body thinks it's cold when it clearly is. I'll tough it out. My body thinks it can't fall asleep staring into the sun. I'll make that happen too. Okay? I don't know what that is. The psychology, the freaking duality of man. Okay? But instead of a battle of good versus evil, a light versus darkness, civility and savageness, it's just stupid and then also dumb. Okay? And that's all I got floating up there. I don't know what I'm working towards. All right? There's no point where I'm going to be in the future while you guys are all comfortable and finding peace and joy and love in your life. But when I find that single room where I'm just in a cold, bright room and they're like, sleep, but also keep eating Biggie bags, I'll be ready. But if that doesn't come, my whole life has been a waste of time. But anyways, that's really what's been going on with me in my life, and I can't stop doing it, man. You give me a challenge, and we're like, time to level up. Check this out, man. This sucks, so surely I have to be getting something out of it. Simplify. It's a problem. But more than that, dude, I'm just feeling heavy. It's a bit of a later night episode, even later than usual. It took me a while to get out of bed. 4 Biggie bags, there's a noticeable weight, Like, even trying to sit up, you're like, gee, you're freaking wearing a weight vest. I had to kind of roll out of my freaking mattress onto the floor. Pretty sure I heard the carpet squeak, ouch, a few times. Stop doing that. It's not okay. And I'm not saying I'm fat out loud, but I'm definitely feeling like a disciple of gravity, a gravity hound, a gravity hog. If anyone else has been feeling lighter the past couple hours, it's because I've been soaking up all the gravity, just really feeling like one of its favorites. Man, I'm getting extra attention right now. Just fat physics. I don't know if Isaac Newton's was like, I don't remember the apple hitting the ground that hard. So I gotta work on that. But every time, even if it's not good for me, my brain goes, push yourself. And instead of pushing myself to not have the Biggie bag, my brain goes, what happens when you get, like, what's harder, not having the Biggie bag or eating the 4th one? I think eating the 4th Biggie bag, I've gone plenty of days, well, not really, without having any Biggie bags, but those days where you fight through that 4th one, it's just a battle, man. It's tough. Never have I felt more powerful and in control of myself than finishing off the last nuggets of a 4th Biggie bag. What a man, what a mighty good man. But it's an issue. I was having a good night. It was chill, and all of a sudden I just found myself driving down the road, driving with my knees while I'm ordering Wendy's to the drive-thru. Have it ready when I get there. You know what it is. And you know what? I blame that on the knee driving. Some people can't drive with their knees, but I'm proficient at it. In fact, it's the only way I drive all the time. It's the best way to drive. Who needs an electric car? My knees do all the work. It's perfect. I remember the first time I saw someone driving with their knees, and I thought it was witchcraft. I thought it was messed up. It was criminal. It was illegal. And I think that's why I wanted to do it. It was like, that looks hard. That looks difficult. But I remember telling my parents. I was driving with my Aunt Kelly, and she was driving down the highway with her knees. And you're like, that can't be right, because I know hands go there. And I remember telling my mom and dad, and then instead of them going, yeah, dude, she's evil, that's just a horrible and rotten thing to do, my dad starts driving with his knees. In that same moment that I brought it up, and I was probably 5 years old, and as soon as he starts doing it, it went from this horrible thing that you could do, like just the most outlandish and awful, like just the worst of the worst, vile, disgusting human behavior, to that is the coolest freaking thing I've ever seen. I was like, whoa, Dad's driving with his knees? That's awesome! Because anything my parents did was the absolute coolest. So thank you, Mom and Dad, I guess, for teaching me to be awesome, but also that's how I've developed a Biggie bag addiction. I mean, if it wasn't you, it was going to be DoorDash, but it is nice, I will say. If anything, driving with your knees, it makes texting and driving so much easier, which is really what life's all about when you get down to the brass tacks. What is going on, guys? We got technical difficulties. Must be the ghosts. They shouldn't be up this late or early. Guys, we do have to sort of rush this episode. Yikes. Took a while trying to get over those Biggie bags. But you know what? Maybe the ghost, they're like, I don't want to be up this late, and for that reason I shall. You know? Because sometimes you got to drive yourself to a stupid decision that you don't really want to do, but you kind of, because the fourth Biggie bag does sound spectacularly awesome, and you push yourself, and for that we go, attaboy. Good work. Okay? And that's really all you want, is to bring yourself to the brink of bizarre and have somebody go, nice, but and one day we'll get it. But anyways, yes, for the sons out there, it is Mother's Day, or husbands, people in charge of orchestrating a Mother's Day. You know what? You should all be celebrating Mother's Day regardless, okay? Celebrate a mom. Even if it's not your mom, celebrate a mother, all right? They made people, so make them feel special, love. Just put them at the center of the universe, put them up on a pedestal, and say, I see you, I love you, you're the best, you're amazing. All right? And I know that's difficult, because not everybody has a wonderful and amazing mom that you do want to do that for. Of all the holidays, of all the things and all the responsibilities that you have, and you got to go there, you got to do this, I got to do that. Celebrating my mom on Mother's Day is supremely easy. And sometimes it's difficult just in the way that you're like, I don't want to just talk about me. You know, sometimes it's hard to talk about someone's parenting. Be like, you did such a good job. I mean, look, exhibit A, you know? Look how I turned out. I'm the result of your efforts, of your hard work. Look at the masterpiece you have painted. And it's hard to do that. It is. And I try not to, but if I'm going to be sincere for just a second, my mom is legitimately not just the greatest mother that I've ever had, or that I've ever known of, but she is for real the greatest person that I've ever met, that I ever know. I mean, I don't mean to just blow smoke, okay? But I'm being as for real as I can possibly be. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but if there's attributes or traits where they say, hey, Tristan is nice to be around, he's respectful, he's fun, he's caring, he's loving, he's focused, he's here, he's present, I would say all the warm traits that anyone has ever gotten from me. I know I can be a bit of a wild and oddball, and you know, some people walk away and go like, stop that. But for those people, for those things that anyone has ever consumed, that is a pure reflection of my mom. And just a sample, just a fraction, dude. If I could ever hold just enough love and peace and patience and be just a fraction of what my mom is, I've already won. Okay? She is, for real, just the absolute best in the world. Okay? And I'm sorry that not everybody got that. I'm sorry that not everybody has that. But she's so great. She's offering out to other people as well. And you know what? I'll say, of all the compliments I get, and again, to blow smoke up at myself, because I get a lot, dude. Dial it in. Of all the things that anybody's ever said about me, being related to my parents, and this is just Mother's Day, so let me go back to my mom. But being related to my parents and my mom, having somebody go, you are your mother's son. Somebody that knows both of us and says, you are just like Jesse. You are your mother's son is probably the greatest thing and anyone has ever said to me. To be compared to her is a delight, okay? But if you don't know my mom, you know what? You're missing out. And if you do know my mom, I'm telling the truth, all right? She's just something else. So I will say sorry if celebrating Mother's Day isn't as easy, but it's pretty rocking. I lucked out. I lucked out on a lot of freaking ways when it comes to the parent department. So I won't share. And of all the gluttonous and greedy things I will do, I will hoard. I will hoard my parents' love and respect and all the things that I've gained from them. And I'll share a lot. I'll give money. I'll give favors. I'll give my time. But my parents, those are mine, guys. Sorry. You know what? They might be willing. They might be willing to help out. But that's all me. What else is going on? Oh, I finally, if you guys look behind, we got the Ladies and Gentlemen, it's Lenny Bruce book in place of the Game Boy Lego set that was in a box for about a year because I was too scared to open it and take on the puzzle. I just don't have the patience for it. I can't be that guy, all right? And I talked about slowly beginning to love puzzles, all right? In moderation. I've had a long-standing hate for it. It's not going to be like a flip of a switch. I'm just going to be that guy. I'm still impatient. It still bothers me to do a puzzle. It bothers me when other people do puzzles. I'm like, how are you standing there? We could be having a fourth Biggie bag. And for some reason in my mind, I thought Legos were going to be a bit more peaceful. Okay, it's so meditative. It's so relaxing. You get to open just sort of zen out, and you're playing with toys. It's not that. It's not that. It's a legitimate puzzle. And I made it way worse because it comes in, multiple small packets that you do in sections and stages. And in my brain, I'm ripping them open. Flick, 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 flick. And I just have 9 billion pieces in front of me, and it's like trying to find a piece of hay in a needle stack, and it's sharp, and it's painful, and it's aggravating. And you know what? As much as I wanted to quit, gosh dang it, if my Biggie bags and sleeping in the bright lights and the dead cold of the night didn't train me for this moment. And I spent about 6 grueling hours just slaving away over this stupid toy. And I found some satisfaction in the getting done part. I don't know if I really enjoyed any of the doing. I don't know if I enjoyed any of the fourth Biggie bag or the being cold or the lights. But in the completion, I was a winner. I was victorious. Would I do it again? Absolutely not. But you know what? I would have another Biggie bag. So, guys, I think that's pretty much all I have to really talk about. I hope this has been a ball. Maybe not. I know it's been a bit quick. But I hope you've had a ball. And I hope you all feel appreciated. And you know what? Not everybody, not just moms, but I hope everybody feels loved and appreciated. But not on Mother's Day. Mother's Day is just for the moms. But other days? Other days just for you guys. Hope you guys are feeling stupid. Spectacular. I was trying to combine stupendous and spectacular. And somehow, guys, I hope you're feeling stupid. I hope you're feeling stupid. All right? Because what's better than that? I've never experienced anything else, and it's pretty dang great, I will say. I've just been laughing it up and having a time. Dude, the one thing's been stuck in my head for about 24 hours is there was a clip. It was one of the halftime shows, and this guy was, oh my gosh, if I can find the clip, I'll pull it up. But he was doing a handstand on top of the little parallettes on top of basketballs. So it's super difficult, and it takes a lot of talent to do it anyway, and I'm sure they fail a million times, and I feel bad for the guy that he got embarrassed. But he fell and absolutely racked his sack on this thing. And then he turns around to the freaking audience, and he's like hyping him up. Like the whole crowd goes, oh, and he goes, yeah. And I have been laughing about that, but more specifically, a comment that I can't even find, okay? So shout out to the guy's name is like Paul Denario or something like that. The comment's been gone. I've been trying to find it. But there was a comment that was like in the quotes of what he was thinking. He says, oh, yeah, clap it up, guys. I just wrecked my balls. Make some noise. And I've been laughing about that for over a day, just driving myself to tears. I've been feeling real stupid and spectacular and stupendous. But it's so, dude. Oh, yeah, clap it up, guys. I just wrecked my balls for you. Make some noise. It brought me so much joy. I tried to find the guy's account just so I could write him a thank you, dude. It's so stupid. It's so good. Yeah. Clap it up, guys. I just wrecked my balls. Make some noise. Yikes. What a kick, dude. What a kick to the balls, literally, but also emotionally, dude. You ever been kicked in the emotional ball sack? It sucks, okay? It just wrecks you to the core. Make some noise. Just wreck my balls. Make some noise. Laughter's good for you. Speaking of laughter, real quick, if we're going to go back to embarrassing sports moments with laughter, there was a report recently that a guy, his life was saved from laughing at stupid sports segments, because I was feeling bad about laughing at this guy who embarrassed himself. But if you remember last season, the Giants kicker, Young Hoku, he had missed a kick, not in a way that I think has ever been done before, where you hit the ball and it goes in the wrong direction. He kicked about a foot before the ball, and he just absolutely, like, no one has ever truly been blocked by the ground. And it was just the most spectacular miss, and everybody laughed. And you know what? He was making money, so he's fine. But the guy was laughing at his screen so hard that he had a seizure. Don't worry, it gets better. He went to the hospital and found out he had a brain tumor. Don't worry, it gets better. He's cured. So he was thanking Young Hoku for being so embarrassing that he laughed himself to ending up getting checked out and being taken care of. And you know what? If there's anything you can do in life, next time you feel bad about laughing at somebody else's shame or embarrassment or the fact that I've got diarrhea, just be like, you know what? If something happens, worst case scenario, you'll have a seizure and you'll find out that not everything's okay. And that's your fault for laughing at me, okay? But I do hope the doctors take care of it. So anyways, guys, moral of the story is that Biggie bags are hard to quit. But you know what? So is all pain. Pain's hard to quit, all right? We're all just driven. We want to feel fire. We want to get pepper sprayed. We want to be tased. We want to just push ourselves to the brinks of insanity. What can we take? What can we withstand? That's why the guy probably wrecked his balls on purpose. Make some noise. A few words that I could leave you with wisdom going in is: 1, celebrate your moms. 2, drive with your knees. Get lots of Biggie bags and celebrate your pain and failures. And yeah, clap it up, guys. I just wrecked my balls. Make some noise. All right, guys, I'm out. I love you, itty bitty pieces of the